The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by memories that refuse to die. I can't get away from a vision that brings intimate glimpses of intimate things. A voice in my heart like a tart singer sings. I wonder who's kissing her now. The house is haunted by the echo of your favorite song. The place is cluttered up with roses that have lived too long, much too long. The ceiling is white, but the shadows are black. A ghost in my heart says she'll never come back. The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye.
Troy? Troy, is that you?
Hello?
Is this thing on?
No, it's not. You didn't pay your bill.
Susie? Is that you? Susie? She's not coming, is she?
Hi, my name's Susie, and I'm doing nails. Leave me alone.
She's probably not coming on because she doesn't have another business to talk about.
That's alright, we'll just have Elmo instead.
Oh no!
The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by memories that refuse to die. I can't get away from a vision that brings intimate glimpses of intimate things. A voice in my heart like a tart singer sings. I wonder who's kissing her now. The house is haunted by the echo of your favorite song. The place is cluttered up with roses that have lived too long, much too long.
Good evening, and welcome to the Haunt Hour, with your host, Dan Doble, Susie Fleecing,
Not tonight.
and Troy Crivelone. Join us tonight as we talk about all things haunting and Halloween during the Haunt Hour.
Welcome, Troy. Crivelone?
Hey, that's me, not him. That's me.
Yeah, it's me.
That's
I
me.
haven't been here in
That's
a
you.
week.
That's you. What?
So what's going on? Hey, before I even start, welcome everybody to another fantastic Haunt Hour. I'm one of your hosts, Dan, the Haunt Guy Doble. I'm with Troy Snowden Crivelone because, Portland gets snow in April.
April. It's snowing again. Just to let everybody know.
Again? Has it even
No,
stopped?
it's snowing right now.
Fantastic.
It's yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's great news. And speaking of great news, if you see behind me,
Oh, it's so gone.
there's no more canned goods.
It's so gone. So you just went on a bender one night, right?
Yeah, I just started eating.
Yeah. You just couldn't handle it anymore, and you just
Or
had
like
to
just started
start
throwing
eating
things
all
out.
the canned.
More like I just moved it out of the camera range. It's actually right over here.
It's right over there.
right over there,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
whatever. What are you gonna do?
I think we should have a vote or a poll on like the Haunt Collective thing about whether or not Dan should put up a Halloween background or not. And I think it would all be yes.
Ultimately, there's a studio that's in the works, and
Uh-huh.
it's been in the works for like
Uh-huh.
2 years now.
Right. Right.
And that's where all my Halloween stuff is. This is actually my wife's room because she has all her plants in here, but it somehow houses the monitors and all my editing software and stuff like that. And so I just ended up staying here. There was Halloween stuff in here. It's just I moved it. I did. I swear I did. Anyway,
well, tune in next week when we see if Dan puts something up Halloween behind him.
Let me see if I can find something while you're
He's
talking.
gotta put something. While Dan tries to find, the Dollar Tree, the Dollar Tree, prop that he's got down there, I will start with the news. And I think this one is literally a Halloween meme unto itself. That Spirit Halloween is making a movie.
What?
Yeah.
Shut up.
They're making a movie. Now, I did see one, I believe it was
Lloyd.
I believe
Why
it
would
was
he even
Jeff.
sign that?
Well, when you're not doing much, you might as well do a spirit movie.
Oh my
Now,
God.
her at least. I mean, she's, I'm just gonna shut up. Because I'm married. But she is all that. I'll just tell you that right now. Anyways, but I've already seen Haunters because, of course, we are the ones who are going to jump on this with reckless abandon. That I have already seen Haunters go to town on this movie, and of course, halfway through the movie, it is going to break down, and it's going to have, the voices are all going to be the same voice. It's not going to be any other. It's not going to be any deviation from the different props. But evidently, it is going to be a family-friendly movie, which whatever. But it is.
What's it based off of? Is it just?
So it says when a new Spirit Halloween stores appear in a deserted strip mall, 3 middle school friends who think they've outgrown trick-or-treating make a dare to spend the night locked inside the store. But soon they'll find out the store is haunted by an angry, evil spirit. I'm guessing Christopher Lloyd. And that has possessed the creepy animatronic characters. The kids embark on a thrilling and spooky adventure in order to survive the night and avoid becoming possessed themselves.
Oh my gosh!
So it's like Five Nights at Freddy's inside a spirit, pretty much.
Well, and what it's going to be is it's just another way that they can market their props in a movie.
Which I guess it would be kind of funny if they made the props, because this will be the first time people will see the props actually work from beginning to end. Like they actually will fully work, because they'll be animated by CGI and stuff.
Nice.
But it will be interesting to see. Like we had on, I forget his name from last year.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. The guy that just loves spirit and goes to the store and all that kind of stuff. He will, I'm sure he'll be sitting there, trying to, pick out which ones are going to show up and, how long how long they, how far they go back into the spirit,
Vault
timeline of props. Hopefully they don't just do like the last couple of years of props and they go back pretty far. They better have the jumping spider in there and stuff.
They don't care about the old shit. They're gonna do
but the old stuff is what still works.
True. It's very true.
Max says that they'll get distortions to build the props so that they work.
It's so true, Max. Very true.
Yep. He also wants to know where Susie is. Susie is indisposed at the moment. She fell into a vat of nail polish remover, and so she's gonna be helped out.
She's doing un-Halloween related shit.
Yeah, un-Halloween related shit.
We tried to get Max. You probably met Micah as well. Happy birthday, Micah. You should be on the show, but for Susie. But anyway, Micah was supposed to come on tonight to fill Susie's shoes, but evidently that did not happen either. So for those of you know who Micah is, he's an actor, artist, Halloween haunt fanatic. I don't know, whatever you want to call him, manager. He's done everything with the pro haunt level. So would have been nice to see you on here, Micah, but I get it.
That's right. Maybe we'll have him on another night that Susie bails on us. I mean, is into.
Or I'll just have him on with Susie. Boy,
there you go.
Would we learn a lot about Susie?
I bet we will.
Tells me we would learn a lot about Susie.
But yeah, so it looks like it'll be out in October 2022, which means they've been filming it for a while. Probably filmed it last year when they had the stores open, probably at the flagship store and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or they may have made an individual store that, because it looks like even from this picture that it's not, I don't know, a spirit store that looks that good. So
yeah, I would imagine that they probably have some sort of set that they built for this.
Yeah. And so it's got parts of a store and then they go into different, stuff. So it'll be interesting to see, at least it's something. Yeah.
I'll definitely watch it.
Yeah.
No. Is it gonna? Did they say where it's gonna be released? I'm assuming it's gonna be straight to video, basically.
No,
Netflix
looks like thing. It's with the production aiming for an October 22 release. No, it looks like it just as of right now. It doesn't even say whether or not it'll be straight to or straight to that or not. But
gosh, I can't imagine. Well, with Christopher Lloyd, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think he would allow something to go straight to. I don't know, maybe.
Who knows?
They haven't been in movies in forever, so I mean, when they say from from Back to the Future and she's all that. I mean,
we got to go to the store.
If they do a cameo of Michael J. Fox, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Like this isn't my time, and he leaves.
Wait, here is this too soon? Too soon?
Too
you
soon.
Scared? That's wrong. That was just wrong. That was a bad joke. We probably lost all of our viewers.
Problem. I mean, you just lose people and individuals, anyways.
Hey, you guys had record turnout when I was gone last week, right?
We did. We completely attribute to the fact that we didn't have you on, and that we had Eric on, and Eric is the powerhouse. He's
totally makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to trim the fat, right? Trim the fat.
Right. So this week we're trying to see if without Susie we can do better. Which one of you is going to get the axe?
Yeah. Is that why you never go on vacation, Troy?
I will be on vacation one episode in July, and that's it.
Yep.
The rest I will be here. So yes. But other than that, I think the only other news that I have, I think that was it. I think, I don't think there's really anything.
I don't have any news.
Last week we talked about conventions, and I put up the on Haunt Collective. I put up the 3 different ones that are coming up in the next couple of months, so people have information.
Do you have a chance to talk about that thing that's happening in Texas with a bus?
No, we'll do that next week because I haven't done tickets yet. Tickets will be out tomorrow, so I'll talk about it next week.
Tickets. Maybe we can do a giveaway.
Maybe we'll see. Maybe after I sell some tickets, before I start giving tickets away. We're playing this close to the cost, okay? We don't make any money.
Leave it to me to give away the farm.
Right. Damn it! Now I got to call Ashley and tell her we're down $200. Dan gave my tickets away. But you know what? Actually, we do. I do have an announcement. And it was actually kind of given away on the Big Scary Show. I think he recorded it last night. But the Home Haunter Awards this year will be filmed at the Texas Haunters Convention.
Well, that's a good idea.
We were originally going to do it in Ohio in 2 weeks, but we looked at flights, and from Oregon to Ohio, it's $700 for me to get there. Actually, more than that now.
Who wants to go to Ohio for $700?
Not for $700. No. So we decided to nix that idea because I don't need to spend that kind of money while I'm saving to move. And so we are going to, since I was already going to Texas, now Christopher's going to fly there. And we're going to film it there. We have a cool way to do it. It's going to be a very unique way to do the show. It'll not be like an Alive and Awards. Like my original idea was to have like a real live award show. And we were going to film it once on Friday for us to do all of our mistakes and everything like that. And then we were actually going to film it live on Saturday with an audience and have it be a class time, so everybody could attend if they wanted to. And we make too many mistakes to allow that to happen. So we have so much editing to do afterwards. So we're like, no, we're just going to do it guerrilla style. So it's going to be a really cool way that we're going to do it. But we're going to involve some vendors and some attendees and all that kind of stuff. So it'll be
perfect.
It'll be cool. So
perfect. So when is that Texas Haunters Convention?
The 16th and 17th of July. So probably by the end of July, the awards will be out.
You're not July.
I'll do all the pre-editing stuff, all the ready. So I just got to plug and play the stuff we filmed there into the timeline. So shouldn't take too long after that.
Perfect. Well, speaking of perfect. What? We have a guest tonight.
We do.
That is got a lot of talent and a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to leave it to Troy to give the details before I bring her on.
Okay.
Because I don't have any of the details. I just show up.
Me. It's me. Okay, got it.
It's you. Let's bring out Angie. Angie Shell, everybody.
Angie!
Yay! There we go.
So,
oh, hello. I didn't know I muted myself.
That's okay. A lot of people think I should.
Dramatic effect.
So Angie, we had an opening, this week, and Angie was watching our show last week, and she messaged us and said hi, and I said, "You're on our show." That was literally our conversation. Like, you're on the show, good. And I was like, and she's like, "Oh, I have to come up with things." And so she's an actor. She hasn't done any of this in real life. She's just a complete actor. We have paid her to be on the show this week, and it's going to be great. So she's been well prepped on what she needs to say. So
the check's in the mail.
All scripted. Absolutely.
Right. So instead of me telling everybody about you, I think it'd be better if we just started off with, who you are generally right now. And then if you want to just segue right into how you got started in this Halloween madness that we all love.
Absolutely. Yeah, no problem. So I guess right now, I consider myself a makeup artist, fabricator, and as of this year, I am a mask maker now. So I have, decided to wear as many hats as I possibly can when it comes to artistry and fabrication, just because of pure passion and obsession. Some might say unhealthy, but I don't know. I don't think so. But
so how did you get into this? Like, how did you get into
oh my gosh,
fabrication, mask making, to doing what you're doing now?
It's so funny because I guess like when I started, it started out with special effects, and as we in the industry actually refer to as 2D makeup, haunt makeup. And so I started out doing that. And then from there, it's amazing because I learned special effects makeup, like everyone else in my haunt, from Jeremy Spickler, who's a mask maker. Oh man, I'm like 15 here.
Your sound?
Oh my gosh. This is an amazing throwback video. Micah, hi Chad. Hi Keaton. It's amazing. I still keep in contact with my haunt family. They're so near and dear to my heart. They're a huge part of my journey, and I don't think I could have done this honestly without them. Everyone has kind of like taught me something different when I worked at the haunt, and I think the one thing that's the same that everyone taught me when I first started out was just to, it sounds so cheesy and cliche, but just like to believe in myself, like, because when you start out in a small town, all of this stuff seems extremely small and far away. And that's, just where I was, just kind of playing around with cotton and latex. That's my mentor. That's Jeremy Stickler. And it just like kind of just kept blossoming from there. I taught myself beauty makeup. I worked in cosmetics for about I guess 3 years now. I'm kind of still in the game a little bit as a freelancer. And so I worked in cosmetics, and I was just doing bridal appointments and, prom, homecomings. So I kind of wanted to make myself well-rounded before I even went to school, and basically any way I could. So, and then from there, of course, makeup school came around, and then it was just over. My lab class was something I really fell in love with. So the full circle moment was Immortal for me, because Immortal was just it was so familiar but new and exciting at the same time, and it was I don't know, it was like falling in love.
Right. So how did you get into being at Field of Screams? Was that just did you go to the haunt a bunch of times and then volunteer to work there, or how did that start?
Yeah, I basically was this crazy kid that went every year, and I was obsessed with it. My mom was so tired of hearing about it. I'm so sorry, Mom. Every year she just wanted to, I wanted to go and just have panic attacks in these mazes because I was so obsessed with them. And then eventually I turned 15, and after so much begging, I finally got the okay to do makeup. And then from there came the acting and just going full throttle with it.
Right.
It's so cool.
And so where did you get to act in any spot you was there a spot you liked the most about working at Field of Screams, or was there any spot that you hated working?
It was so I only worked indoors. Right. I was never, I know, I'm a baby. That definitely exposed me a little bit. I have mad respect for, my hayride people, my my maze people, the Nocturnal Wasteland. Mad respect, because it gets crazy. Sometimes it snows. I'm pretty sure they closed the mazes at that point, though. But basically, I was either in the Den of Darkness or the Asylum. My last final years at Field of Screams, I was really vibing out in the Asylum. It just got better and better each year. That was a beautiful evolution, was that particular attraction, because we had some of the best, most creative people building these haunts, and just, I don't know, they could make anything into a diamond, straight up.
Yeah. I mean, Field of Screams is definitely on a lot of people's bucket lists, to be out there, I mean, and it seems like Pennsylvania has so many good haunts out there that it's kind of hard to pick just one, but it definitely seems like a place that really takes pride in everything they do.
Yeah, no, they definitely do. That's for sure. Yeah, they have a very, very big following for where they're at and everything. And I think it's, without the actors, honestly, and without the makeup artists, who they put so much into this, it's amazing. They really, really deserve all the credit, all the glory, straight up. They do everything for that place. It's amazing how much they produce every year, and it gets bigger and better.
How many seasons were you a haunter or an actor at the haunt?
I acted from age, I believe, 15 to 17. And then when I moved away, I think I took a year or two off, and then I came back for another 2 years. But then right around the time I turned 20, it was like, I'm going to California.
Right.
And I honestly, it's so crazy that I ended up doing film, because when I came to California, I had like all intentions of continuing the haunt industry. And I had like when I was in school, the idea was to eventually open up my own haunt. And I still kind of have that dream in there, like definitely. But I think after a while, there was this huge surrender of like, I want to see what opportunity comes my way. I want to see like where I'm supposed to end up, you know? Because if you try to control it too much, you kind of go crazy. You do.
Yeah.
So you followed your dream of acting to California? Is that the timeline we're looking at here? I mean, or did you go to California for other reasons?
Oh, for makeup. Makeup. Yeah.
And
So I did on-set makeup application, and prosthetic makeup application.
awesome. And do you have, I'm sure Troy's going to pop it up here in a second. Do you have any, like, when you got out there, did you have a plan on what you were going to do, or did you end up just winging it? Because I have a friend that, in fact, a good friend of mine, Kyle, who lived in Milwaukee here, and he's a special effects makeup artist. He just packed his car, actually his rental car, one way, drove out to New York City to find it, and just found a job. So I didn't know if was that the plan that you had, or did you have a little bit of a background before you were heading out there to do what you're doing now?
I definitely will say, without going to, I went to makeup designery, which was basically the makeup school that I graduated from. And that was kind of where I learned the business. I learned just basically etiquette. I learned, I took the master program as well. So I wanted to get the full experience just in case, because you never know. And then basically with COVID and everything, there was a lot of stop and start. And throughout that, I worked at Ulta Beauty. And so I worked in cosmetics. I continued on that train. And then I was just kind of, it felt a little bit like, it kind of felt like I was in this like in between where I was like, oh, like, where am I going to go? And then I got this like really amazing internship with Ojala Productions, and they are a creature and prop shop. And I absolutely, from there, it was like everything begun, everything started. And I learned so much while I was there, and I got just amazing experiences. I gained so much confidence once I actually started working and getting my hands in there and talking to people that I really just looked up to. And it was kind of like waking up after that, you know, because school just felt so controlled. And then when you're working, you're like, oh my gosh, it's happening. It was such a hyper ecstatic moment for me.
Did you think that it was worth it for you to go to school and follow that path? Or do you think that if you look back on it, would you have just went straight into, you know, where you're at now? Do you think it was worth it for those that are out there that are looking to, you know, follow in this path? Do you think it's something that you would recommend? Yeah, look at that question.
No, that's a good one. That's seriously a good one. Oh my gosh. Because like, I'll tell you one thing for sure. Everyone you ask is going to have a different opinion about this. Like, I feel like it's understandable because it's relative. There's people that are born with this like innate God-given talent.
Yep.
Wow. Like they, like, honestly, like it's just intense to me. And then there's also people who kind of, you know, they kind of just need the push. They need the confidence. I think everyone has passion, this talent within them. But for me, I felt like school was so worth it. Just because I needed to learn etiquette. I needed to learn confidence because it was in me, and I feel like it was in me forever. But with all the repetition, and all of just like getting to meet everyone, like, I think it was definitely worth it. And I would say if you at least just want to get your foot in the door, you want to get started, you know, don't be ashamed to go to school if it's something you really want to do. Yeah, I would say yes, in a sense, it's worth it. Unless, of course, like you're just a prodigy.
Do you think that it's worth it? Like, do you feel that pulling contacts out of school versus learning the trade? Do you think that that's an avenue? You see what I'm saying? Like, is it something where you're like, oh, well, if you go to school, you get to get in contact with all of these big players within the industry versus just going out there with a God-given talent and trying to find a job?
Yeah, I mean, it's more kind of just like being able to learn from them and watch them work, and like just having the experience and the privilege to watch them apply something and just see how they blend out their edges, or what adhesive do they use versus what you're used to using. I think it's more so just about that education and just like having that overall experience. The connections are wonderful, of course, and I do keep in touch with everyone from school, but I wouldn't say I went there just for to connect and get in there, because once you start working and once you kind of get your feet just a little bit wet, you can do a lot with a little. You really truly can.
Yeah.
So when you were in, were you still in school when you got picked to be on, the makeup, departments for these different shorts and movies that are on your IMDb? Or was that after school?
So it was basically towards the end of school, because like I said, with the stop and start of COVID, there was just a part of me that was really itching to do makeup. And I actually, I met a friend of mine in my apartment complex at the time, and her parents were like, "Oh yeah, we're shooting a feature," and I was like, "Oh, that sounds awesome!" And I was like, "I've never been on set before." I was like, I know what they taught me in school, and this is kind of like a really good example for what I was saying earlier. I was like, I know what they taught me in school, so like I could do it. I was like, I know how to show up, I know how to make sure the station is sanitary, and I was like, and I'm new at it, but I'm sure I'll be pretty quick because of haunt, my haunt experience applying makeup there.
Right.
So throw that all in my mental blender, and I was like, yes.
Right.
And it was amazing because I got to work with Hutch Dono, who was the star and director of the film. I love Hutch. He's actually my best friend's father, so I'm very close with him still. And I worked with Lindsay Shaw and Daniel Curtis Lee. So, and David Lambert as well. He was absolutely wonderful.
And what movie was that?
That was called Involuntary. So that was my first, feature film. And we shot that in Big Bear, California.
Nice.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a trailer for it yet.
Not yet. I think we are still in post for that one. But we have amazing BTS photos. So I did all of the, I had an assistant with me, and I did all of the camera ready makeup, and then we split the effects down the middle.
Okay. That's awesome. And how long were you on that film? How long did that take you?
That one, actually, I think we hit a record list because we shot it in about 5 days to a week. I know we spent about 4 or 5 days in Big Bear, and then we shot another portion of that in North Hollywood.
Awesome.
So I know somewhere I have to get the script, the screenwriter's link for it, because she was like, we made this record list, and I was like, no way. That's so cool. I didn't know that was even a thing. We're right there with Little Shop of Horrors, because I know they shot Little Shop of Horrors in a week.
Oh yeah.
It was a very short turnover. That's crazy.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
And
sorry.
So did they, because I'm trying to wrap my head around how you got picked to just be on these things? Did they just like come into class and be like, we want you, or did somebody suggest you for these things? I mean, other than involuntary, because that you said was because your neighbor, but are the other ones, did these people just come up to you, or do you go and like audition for it? How does that process work to get from classroom
That's a good question,
to
Troy.
set?
It's like this crazy, insane for me personally, and like for many others, of course, so I know will relate. It's this snowball effect where you go on a set, and then you know, of course, like thank God for Instagram. You post about it on set, so you know all of your friends will see that you're working, and that within itself is kind of like this advertising that you have. And then on top of it, you meet people on set, and like basically if you can get really, you know, comfortable with them and you guys have a click where you're like, hey, like I would like to work with you, and that goes both ways.
Right.
Like I'll meet people all the time where I'll be like, oh, like I'm totally gonna need you soon, or you know, or people will need me and they'll be like, oh my gosh, I have this photo shoot coming up, I need help, and it just snowballs from there. And like it's crazy to say, but it's there's no audition process or anything. You just kind of like the more people you meet, the more it just keeps growing. It's like a big spider web of connections.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then you shared this one with me, the trailer for Obscura, and that's the one you just got done with, right?
Yes, so this was with Rocket Pig Productions. This project I was so fortunate to be able to assist Jake Porath, who was the lead. Jake created the creature. He did like a good large percentage of the effects, like I want to say 95%. The other 5% were definitely assistants here and there, because I know this project was in production for like a year. There's so much detail. He made these eggs. So that's my favorite part personally about so far is the eggs. They're so cool to me. And he just like really went in and made this crazy, like almost androgynous, but still very ethereal alien creature, also known as Obscura. And he had, I don't remember how much time he specifically had to do it, but I know he did it in a very short turnover time, which is beyond impressive.
And where did they film this? Was this out in, I mean, it looks like a desert for sure, but.
Yeah, I think when I went, we were in Nevada, and I believe they did a couple weeks or months in New Mexico.
Okay.
I know I'm bad on that one.
No, that's fine.
I came on for, I think it was a day or two to assist with an alien attack makeup, which was one of my favorite makeups I've ever done. It was so beautiful. I wish I could show you, but alas.
Right.
Not yet. You'll have to see it.
Yes. So explain now, how do you for doing the shorts, is that where, kind of the snowball effect too, that you just get picked, like it's, you're just like, hey, I need you to help me with this short that I'm doing over here while you're on this set doing this at the same time type of thing?
Absolutely. I've totally double booked before. It's awesome. No, so shorts are fantastic. I think that they're like this. It's great because you get a weekend of just pure creativity. Depending on the script, of course, because sometimes you're, of course, doing like camera ready, which is just like amazing practice. But with like shorts like this, I had an absolute blast. Me and my assistant were really just like getting into effects and blood effects and things of that nature. So we were really learning a lot fresh out of school. But yeah, it's a great way to network. It really is, and it's just like so much fun because you see it and it's like this cute little like 10 to 30 minute, masterpiece. Most of the time they come out wonderful.
Right. Yeah, I was not expecting when I was watching this. I was like, okay, so he's making dinner, and then he's gonna, and then he goes in the garage, and you're like, why are you going in the garage? What's in there? What's in the garage? And then you see what's in the garage, and then you're like, oh, this is not gonna end well.
Yes, and oh my gosh, this actor who played Philip was an absolute champ. Oh my goodness, like he took it like a champ. It was his first experience having any kind of application with special effects, and the poor guy was tied to a chair. Like he really just like we had the best time with it, and we were all laughs and smiles. I remember this being like one of the most fun sets I've ever been on. And he also was casted perfectly. Our antagonist, he was so creepy and he was very method. So he kind of stayed within character on set. And I was like, I would have to go up and put hairspray in his hair. And I was like, yeah, I think more haunt actors should honestly get into film, like how method they get, you know?
Right.
Very true.
By the way, I have that picture frame, by the way. I have a picture of me now. That picture frame. I saw that and I was like, wait a minute. I have that picture frame. The little things, you know.
Yeah, definitely. I love when that happens.
So yeah, so I did have to we'll have to preface that this video has, definitely adult themes in it.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I was like, where are we going with this? I was like, where are we going with this? Okay, all right. So what is, because this is a music video, and how does that, because I know music videos are like movies now. They're not just them, jamming out in front of the camera anymore. They're stories and stuff. How'd you get involved with this? Because you're actually in this.
No. Oh my gosh, I'm flattered.
I thought that was you.
In the bathroom?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
No, that's a model. But thank you. No, so
I don't know, because I looked at it quickly and I was like, okay. I mean, I knew those two weren't you, but
yeah, I think she's a model. I think she has a partnership with Ardell Lashes. She was basically body painted by me, and then we applied little horn prosthetics that were foam rubber onto her forehead, and then from there we hit it with the airbrush and a little bit of beauty makeup, and then she got in the tub, and and it was so much fun. I got this project. I got connected through Ojala again. I think it was Amber who shot me a text and was like, "Hi, are you available to do a music video?" And I was like, "Oh, absolutely. That sounds like so much fun. It's been a minute." And this is Teddy featuring little Tracy. And I had no idea when I showed up, so it was really exciting for me, and I was so excited and just fangirling.
Yeah, because you share on your, let's see, I got to go back to your Instagram, a little better picture of it with the. So yeah, you've got where he looks kind of like a young Gavin Rossdale. I don't know if you know who Gavin Rossdale is. Do you know who that is?
I don't. I don't.
I'm gonna go hide in the corner.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, old man Troy.
Do you know the band Bush?
Oh God, my generation is showing. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
That's all right.
Well, okay. Have you seen the movie Scream?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
He looks like the killer in Scream, the first one.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
I get it. All right.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm here now.
We got it. I glazed over the early '90s alternative music reference and went straight to Scream, which we all know. So
yeah. Sorry, but, yeah. This was also an album cover, so that was my first album cover as well. So that was kind of a milestone in my career. And it's so pretty too. It is something I personally would say resonates with me and my personal aesthetics and things that I like. So it's very dark, it's sexy, it's ethereal. I love everything about it. I want a shirt. I would totally wear it on the t-shirt.
So what would you've done all these things? What would you say your first love is now? Is it movies? Is it haunting? Is it mask making? Is it, you know, makeup, you know, whether it be glamour or horror? I mean, what's the first thing you gravitate to, and what would you love to see yourself doing in 20 years from now?
Oh wow, yeah, that's an amazing question. I think I might give you a little bit of a broken answer.
That's fine.
But I'm gonna say like my first love is haunting. Because there was just an electricity that like just was like ignited within me when I started haunting and doing makeup at haunts, and being around people that I felt like genuinely understood me as a person, and really accepted me. And then I kind of kept going and working and progressing, and there was like not an aspect of the industry that I really wasn't loving and falling in love with. But I want to say 20 years from now, I think my niche is mask making. I think 20 years from now, I totally see myself doing some kind of involvement with silicone mask making. It's this newfound passion that I just got into, and I just think that it just clicked with me. Everything with it is so natural and organic, and I love every step of the process. So I think that's where I'm headed, hopefully.
And I'm assuming you're always learning. Can you walk us through like making silicone masks and like what your process is?
So when you work in a shop, it's actually split into different departments. So basically there's different people doing each step, which is amazing because you're working together like a big symphony in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I know. And basically when I started, I jumped around everywhere, kind of just learning everything, getting my hands in everything, which I loved. And I think my favorite part was casting for sure. But yeah, basically, we have a bunch of molds that are, when they're silicone, they're made out of fiberglass. And you want to do something called releasing, which is making sure that what you pour in doesn't stick to the mold. And then you mix your silicone and do a couple steps in between and pour it in. And once you demold it, you basically just make sure that it's mended perfectly, make sure that your seams aren't, sticking out, just kind of tie up the loose ends, and then you can get into painting and sealing it. And it's crazy, like what a well-oiled machine these special effects shops are, because they really just pump this stuff out, and it is such a process when you're doing it by yourself. But at Immortal, it just feels like we can just zip through it, especially because we do it every day,
Right.
And they're so beautiful. Our sculptors are so talented. We have some of the best.
Yeah, I was at Transworld this year, and I was able to, walk around their booth and look at all their stuff. And, it's definitely, you definitely know when you're on the Immortal Mask row, and this year they had it was quite the setup this year. You definitely knew you were on their row, and it was amazing to see just how many different kinds. It's just like where their ideas come from is just amazing to see that they just pump out all these masks. You're like, I never had that thought in my mind that would be a mask, so it was interesting to see all the different kinds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those sketches are so elaborate and stunning, and you just like watching them sculpt is mesmerizing. It's amazing. Yeah, Andrew is absolutely phenomenal. I literally I remember watching him seeing like the Diablo mask for the first time, and I just I was like looking at it, and I was just like trying to be like, oh my gosh, I want to look at every single little detail. This is crazy. And like, I don't know, they're just some of the most beautiful sculptures I've ever been around. And all I've ever wanted in life was just to be surrounded by hauntingly beautiful shit.
Right.
and just be surrounded by, art and be able to create art every day. And the fact that I get to do that now is just, it blows my mind.
Yeah.
It really does.
Awesome.
So are they teaching you more parts of it, or are you just kind of going with whatever they kind of tell you to do, and then you're just going to kind of progress as the years go on, or is there a plan in mind for you?
So currently I am working in the paint department as a sealer, and I have aspirations and goals of becoming a silicone painter.
Okay.
Awesome.
So I'm training that right now, doing some contouring and just doing exercises and just getting that muscle going. And it's really just, it's this crazy learning curve of wonderfulness, to be honest. I love every minute of it. And even when you mess up, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Finish up. I got excited.
Even when you mess up, it's an opportunity to learn how to fix that and how to go off of that, and for next time, so you can just kind of keep learning as you go.
Do you bring your work home with you?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I have like a severed head that I'm doing at home right now, and I'm hoping to do this convention in Gettysburg in October. And I want to make some props for it and like basically novelty items.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I'm thinking masks because I really want to kind of like have fun with it, and like I have this idea for like specific lamps that I want to do and different furniture items. Just kind of go sideways with it, just to. Because it's an oddities convention, so I want to do like oddities.
Ah.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Are you doing the Oddities and Curiosities show? Is it the Oddities and Curiosities show?
It's not that one. It's in Gettysburg. It's hosted by Jeremy Pauly, I believe.
Okay.
But I don't recall which one it is. I know. I just contacted them like a couple weeks ago, and we're still setting up. We're still even trying to set up our product list, so that's like a whole jumble right now. But we're starting production for that in the summer, basically.
Got it.
Because right now you're doing orders from Transworld, but then you're also getting ready for Monsterpalooza, right?
Yes, yes. I'm so excited for Monsterpalooza. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that one seems to be like the place to go for all of the masks and all that kind of stuff. It definitely is. And it just kind of like burst on the scene too a couple years ago. It was like, oh, here's this awesome thing, this, that's really geared towards that part of the industry, which is cool.
Yes.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's all things scary, so that's amazing, just getting to be there. And I know that we have like a lot of amazing like people going there this year. Like I know Pete Ulrich is going, and I love you. And we also have, I think Tim Curry is going to be there as well, so that's super exciting.
Ooh, nice. It's sad to see him in a wheelchair, but it's still great that he comes out and gets around. That's
of course,
I always hate to see the downfall of actors that we all grew up with and watched be so energetic and out there and everything. Like when we heard about Bruce Willis and and then Tim Curry and and my favorite is I'm gonna shoot myself in the foot. Clark Griswold. Clark Griswold.
No, you're good.
Why am I blanking out on Clark Griswold's name?
But something, but like honestly, you want to know something really cool is the fact that they're so like being actors and being in all of these iconic movies. Are they really ever gonna die? Like, you know what I mean?
No.
Like, like we can see them forever. Like that's the best part about cinema.
Chevy, thank you, Sean. Chevy Chase, because Chevy Chase is in a wheelchair now too. Which is
he really? I didn't know that.
I saw he was at a Comic-Con last weekend. I think he was at Steel City Comic-Con, and he was in a wheelchair with Angela, the mom in the movies. And then unfortunately, even more sad is that Gilbert Gottfried died today too.
Yes, I did hear about that.
And that's sad too. We're
Oh
losing
my
too many.
gosh.
We're losing them.
No, that's horrible.
Not to bring down your interview or anything, you know, but
You're fine. You're fine. Oh my gosh.
but you know, we have a little bit of time left too. So we've got E. Shelley here wants to know, what was your favorite part of makeup designatory? That's a word, designatory?
It's designery.
Designery. Oh, that's so eloquent. I like that.
Makeup designery. Yeah, we call it mud.
Okay. So what was your favorite part?
Oh my gosh! Wow. I think my favorite part was my last two classes were, which is kind of not cliche, but like predictable. You know, being in special effects class and being in what we call the lab class, and just learning about my favorite parts of the industry and just falling in love with them more. I think like that was the most fun. We had professional photo shoots for a lot of our pieces in school, so that was really, really cool to see like my work on like real camera with a backdrop and they're modeling, and you know, you're like, I can't believe I did this. Very surreal. Very surreal.
Yeah. Sean wants to know if you own any silicone masks yourself.
Ooh. When I was younger, I had one from my mentor, and his 13th Ward Effects, his company. We had it was, I want to say, like, it kind of looked like, I just watched this yesterday, so this is where my brain is going, but House of a Thousand Corpses, where the devil, Dr. Devil is doing that surgery, and his like little flaps. We had one like that. My brother and I like fought over it like relentlessly, and like he had like I think he had little scissors in him and everything, and his little brains were exposed, and he was like, but someone's gonna screenshot that. No. But no, it was my favorite. It was like my favorite thing ever. I would like totally like just like walk into my brother's room and like but that was my first one, and I haven't bought one since then. I honestly should. That's kind of bad.
Well, all right. So when you're working in a haunt, or when you did, would you say that doing makeup on somebody with the prosthetics and stuff like that is a better effect than a mask? Or, I mean, obviously it depends on the theme and the, you know, and the scene that's in there. But would you say that it's I guess more fun to do the makeup than to just put a mask on somebody? And do you guys do anything to the masks once they're on? Like, do you guys change them once you buy, like when you were at Field?
Oh, so I mean, with I will say makeup application was always more fun. Just to answer that one right off the bat, because at Field of Screams we kind of had a little bit of creative freedom. Okay. And we could play around with the wounds and, you know, what was going on there. So that was always more fun. As far as the masks go, I don't recall us doing anything special or particular to them to make them fancier. I think we just kind of made sure that they were repaired when they needed to be repaired, because of course you're moving, you're sweating. People, you know, customers are just unpredictable. Right. You know, please don't touch the actors.
Right.
Stop it. Yeah. Leave them alone. But yeah, it's kind of, it's like, I think it's just making sure that they're ready for the show and gonna perform and not gonna rip. And we always made sure that they were on point.
What would you say is you know, like if somebody wanted to be able to fix their silicone mask, what's like your go-to fix for something like that? If they're ripping or whatever.
It's literally just you patch it with silicone. It's like you basically make sure that it's like, in a way, like you steam it and patch it. So you'll trim away anything that doesn't need to be there, and then you thicken up silicone, and then you kind of like spackle it, almost like when you're spackling walls.
Okay.
And you thin it out with with like any kind of like
Naphtha?
what's it called? Naphtha.
Yeah.
And we'll thin it out with that, and then we'll call it a day.
Okay. Nice. What would you say is your favorite childhood memory having to do with Halloween?
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think because I was such a weird kid.
We all are, you know.
No, I always chose like the most obscure random things to go as for Halloween. And no one ever knew what I was because of it, and it was weird. Like, why did I do that? Oh, you know what? So every year, when I was like just a child, my mom's best friend would have this at-home haunt, and she killed it every time. It was really, really cool. And she always had actors, and she always just had like neighborhood kids, and we would drive like I think 45 minutes to an hour, like every other year because we couldn't do it every year.
Right.
And I think the first time I ever went, my mom and I like made this like Dead Bride, because The Corpse Bride had just come out, and I had seen it in the theaters so many times, like it was religion. And so I wanted to be like a dead bride, and my mom made me like a dead bride costume, and I think that was the first time I was ever scary. So, and that was like young me just was like, what is this? I was like, this is new. This is a new like I didn't realize how empowered I was. Like I didn't know what was going on. I was like, this is so sick. I'm awesome right now. That's my favorite. Yeah, definitely my favorite memory was that year for sure.
Nice.
Well, I think we've come to that part of the show where we have to.
Where I gotta tell people where to find her.
I know, I'm working on it. I'm just kind of segueing in there, dropping.
I know. Well, actually, you know what? Hold on. We have one more question. Sean wants to know, what is the best makeup for actors' eyes under a silicone mask? His always rubs.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm here for you. Hi. So the traditional thing that I feel like everyone does is they'll go in with the Ben Nye grease, which is understandable, and it's not sustainable. But I will say you can also take. I wish I could link it or something, but it's this paint palette. I think it's called the Athena palette, and it's these really dense cream-based paints. And they really, I use them when I'm body painting and trying to make someone one color, but I don't want to mess with their eye area. So like you basically can put those around your eyes and they really stick. That is it. Yes. So I love me some Athena. Those have saved me multiple times. You could also try maybe the Krylon grease paints, but I have a feeling just because you're going to be having a mask on and it's going to be rubbing, they might not be dense enough. But those would be my two go-tos. The Athena one has been pretty tried and true.
Okay. I put that in the YouTube page, but we will put that on our Haunt Collective page as well, on the Haunt Hour page. Nice. Yeah, that's always, I think, with makeup, it's, I have plenty of friends that are makeup artists too, that are in just the haunt industry itself. And it seems each of them has those little, the little things that they're like, no, this is all I use. I use this for that every time because it has never failed me, And so it's always fun to get a new, something like that. I've never heard of that palette before. I've never heard of anybody, talk about it. So that'll be good for other people to try out. And
yeah, it's a good one. I used it like as more than I expected myself to. I kind of got it for one thing, and then from there I was like, oh my god, the possibilities. I want to start painting my own face with it, honestly.
Right?
I do. I really do. I just want to sit there and do like Starry Night on my face.
Why not?
I know. I'll do it. I'll tag you guys.
Nice.
Awesome.
All right.
Awesome.
Well,
So-
we'll get to the point
Yes.
where we will talk. So this is your Facebook page, and I know Facebook pages aren't that really, followed as much as,
All about the gram.
you've got your website where they can also
Yes.
contact you if they want to book you for things, which they all should. Everybody should book you through things and get you into things. Yeah. You also have her Instagram, and she just changed it the other day on me in the middle of.
I know. I'm sorry about my identity crisis.
Fine. So you can find her on Instagram, and she also has an IMDb, so you can check that out, and watch out for all the different movies that are coming out. You've got Obscura as being the main one that's coming out, and then so you're currently working on American Trash, or have you finished up that part as well?
So American Trash, I think is still in production at the moment. Okay. There were 3 of us involved, and basically due to everyone kind of having projects paralleling, we were basically playing musical chairs. So we were kind of like, okay, so you're gonna do this day, you're gonna do that day, and so it was awesome because we were basically like a 3-person team, and we were able to pick up where the other left off, and it's awesome because we could mimic each other's work. I actually worked with it was me, Jake Porath, and Carmine Fulvile, and we worked on the Earl King as well and had that same synchronicity.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're all Gemini, so I don't know.
Right? So yeah, so you can go over to her IMDb and just kind of bookmark, these different projects that'll come out. Looks like you have quite a bit coming out in the next couple of years.
Lots of stuff.
And so that'll be fun to watch you get even bigger,
Thank you.
You'll be a superstar, and we'll be like, remember that time she was on our show? Remember that? Now she's at the Oscars. It's cool. Not getting slapped. God. Not getting slapped. Let's not get slapped.
No slapping.
You can slap somebody. I'm fine with that. But yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Angie, for coming on tonight. It was a pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you for having me. It was a blast.
Yes, thank you.
And if you ever have any questions or you want to throw something out there, we'd be more than happy to promote you out there. What's going on? So
if I'm ever in Oregon, because I have a lot of friends that go to Oregon for work, so if I'm ever in Oregon, I'll let you know because that's awesome. And I haven't been to Wisconsin, but I'm from Pennsylvania, so if I'm ever in Pennsylvania,
again, there's nothing exciting in Wisconsin. So don't make a special trip here, but if you do stop by, look us up.
Right. Yes.
It's the dairy, right? Dairy state.
Yeah, cow, cheese and cows. Yeah, cheese and cows.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I fuck with that.
Right.
All right. Well, you have a good night. Before we head out, Troy.
We have to do next week's show.
Yeah.
Next week.
What's going on next week, Troy?
It's a big show. You want to know why?
Why?
Because it's my birthday next week.
Oh, no shit.
I know. And I'm going to be here instead of spending it with my family. So you're welcome, Dan.
Hey, thank you.
Dedication.
I feel like I should be thanking your wife instead of you.
And it's only because I don't want to face it, but I'm turning 40 and I'm not super excited about that fact. But I'm also a kid, so nobody even really knows that I'm 40. My mom makes the joke that I've been 30s. I've been in my 30s forever. And she's like, "Oh, you're finally getting to the 40s." I'm like,
my wife calls me a man child. Does that count for anything?
Yeah, no, I am my wife's 3rd child.
Yes.
So,
God.
I have no plans on growing up, even though I'm 40. So everybody knows me well enough to know that ain't happening. So
it's true.
I relate.
We have John and Lynn. I'm probably going to butcher their name, and I'll have to ask them if it's the right one. Hoke. They run Chamber of Souls, And they are the ones who made a haunted mansion dark ride around their backyard and around their pool.
Is this the one that we were
Yeah, the
looking
one
at
that we showed last year where he's sitting in the cart and it's going around his pool, and we're
yes.
like, that's gonna fall in the pool. It did not fall in the pool, just to let you know. But yes, so we have them. They will be on and they'll be showing us. Obviously, we'll have plenty of videos about that and everything, and it's quite the process. So
Awesome.
we will have them on next week.
Right. Well, next week it is Tuesday,
All
8
right.
o'clock.
Thank you, Angie, for coming on, and we
Thank you
appreciate
for
your time.
having me.
Yeah.
Thank
You're
you for
welcome.
having me.
Welcome.
I
You
appreciate
have a
it.
good night, and everybody tune in next week
That's right.
where we talk about more scary shit.
Yeah, more scary shit. Yeah.
All right.
I'll be
See you guys.
here. I'll be there.
Okay, bye.
You guys got me